Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. In last episode, we finished our Moho mission, our mission to Moho. That went very well, I thought. I had a little bit of a screw up there where, when I was trying to get into orbit, doing the capture burn, it burned a little long, but managed to fix it after a few other minor inconveniences. And if you'd like to watch that, it's in the last episode. But this episode, I did say at the end of the last one that we would probably be going to Dres, but that's not going to happen. Nope, I've decided against Dres. I'm really not that interested, I don't think. I mean, I could, but what's the point? There's not a whole lot there, for one. There is a canyon, I believe, on Dres, but I think I'd rather go... I think here's what I want to do today. I want to go to Duna. I want to go to Duna and Ike, both. I think I'm going to construct a rocket to go to Duna, plus a lander to go to Ike on the same mission, the same rocket, the same probe, basically. Basically 2 probes for 1 is what I'm thinking. Let's see where Duna is right now. Okay. Zoom out a bit. So we're going to have to wait a little bit. We need to wait 314 days. How about Joule? 301. I guess I could go to Joule first, but I kind of had my sights on Duna this episode. Because I already have a plan. I already have something I want to do. Again, let's zoom in. I want to send a probe to Duna. There's Duna with the Astronomer's visual pack. It's very nice. So I want to send a probe to Duna, which has a rocket to Duna, which has 2 probes. One of them is going to orbit Duna, and the other one, after we get in orbit of Duna, is going to go to Ike. Get in orbit of Ike and land. So I got basically two missions, is what I want to do. I'm pretty sure we can handle that. There is a few things I want to do first, so let's go back. I want to spend some science. Look at, I forgot to mention, like at the end of the last episode, we had 3,800 science or so. I went back to both the Eve probe and the Moho probe and just circled, went into orbit several times, and picked up science in various biomes that I traveled over. I think I orbited Eve 5 or 6 times, trying to get all the science. Same with Moho. And I managed to pick up a few thousand, about 1,400 more science. So, I'm going to go ahead and just fill in this last row here. I don't know if I actually need this stuff, but might as well. Maybe I'll use some of it in one of my next landers. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7,500 science left. Actually, I already got 2,200 of it, so 5,000 science. I could probably get it all on the Duna mission, to be honest. Yeah, it's filling out nicely. I think I've decided we're going to do Duna on this one. I'm going to send a probe to Joule on the next episode, probably. And then I'd like to send a manned mission to Duna, and then a manned mission to Lathe, is what I'm thinking. But that can change, as evidenced by today's episode, where I said we'll be going to Dres. I'm going to leave out Dres and Elu. I just don't know if they're going to be interesting enough to do. So, alright, let's go back. And let's go in the VAB. And I'll just briefly go over what I have in mind. Now, I did buy some parts, so I don't know. I should have a couple probes, right? Or is it just this one? So it's just this one still. I thought... No, I guess... Yeah, it's still this one. I know there's a better one than this one, but I don't think I need it. So here's my thought. Here's my thoughts. Oh, and I should go over the requirements of what I need. So... Let me find the website I'm looking at. Okay, so... We need... about 4,000 delta V to get into orbit here. 3,600, but I usually take up 4,000. Then we need another 1,200 or so to get to actually intercept Duna. And then we need about 600 thereabouts to get into a low orbit of Duna. And then we need not very much, maybe, let's see. It says here 390, 425, 600 to land on Ike. 600 is all, but I think my lander's going to have a lot more than that, just in case. So that's our requirements. So I'm going to build the Ike lander first, and it's going to be basically like all the others. It's going to have that, the stabilizer. Well, it's also it's a reaction wheel too, and then it's going to have this with all the science in it. I'll do that later. And then fuel tank. So I need about 600 delta V, but I'm thinking, is this one? No, that's a small one. Let's organize these by size. It's a little easier that way. This one? Yes, this one here. I think that should be enough. We'll see. The engine I have in mind is my favorite landing engine, Marietta. I know it's tiny, but oh my, see, look at this. 5,000 delta V. And let's look at Ike. So we got the body, we got Ike highlighted here. It has 9 thrust to weight ratio and 5,000 delta. That's overkill for landing on Ike. I could probably use a smaller tank, but if I do that, okay, let's go back to here. Like if I do this, okay, that's still 40, quite a bit. Do I have enough room on here for the things I need, like solar panels? Although, let's take a look. I don't really want to use these anymore because they're not very good. Electric charge 1.6 per second. I have better ones like... where's the ones I used? These here. 12 per second. However, I suppose I could fit on there, but I also need to put on my dish. This. Which I thought I'd put here. Nope. Like that. Now I know this might get in the way. See? So what I'll do is I'll extend the antenna before I open these. There we go. So if I do that, where am I going to put the solar panels? I could put them, I guess, right here, but they won't fit, see? What is this? $8 per second? A new paradigm in solar array development. This must be a new part. Oh, those are nice. Yep, and I'm assuming they track. They can track the sun. I'm assuming they can. I mean, it's quite large. Don't need something that big. 24. I just need something that's better than these, but smaller than these. And I think these will... Is there anything else? Expanding curved solar array. 75? That's a lot. Oh, okay. No, I don't think I need that. Now these... What are these? These cannot be oh, those are huge. I guess we're going to go with these. So if I do that, though... Okay. So do I need this tank? Or is this one good enough? I think this one's probably good enough. I have tons of delta V here. 3 minutes and 15-second burn. 4 minutes and 32-second burn. Well, you know me. I know it's overkill, but I'm going with the bigger tank. I will put these, like, maybe here? Just below where this opens. That should work, right? I kind of like those. Those are nice. So I'm assuming they pivot again to track the sun. So this is the basic idea. Let's put on, some landing legs. Like those. Yeah, those. Here. Oh, that's nice. Okay. So that's my basic. That is the Moho. Or I'm sorry, the Moho. The Ike lander right there. I haven't put all the science and stuff in it yet. Electric chart, right? And I need my batteries will all go in here, no problem. So I'll probably use the Z1000s, probably 3 of them. Whoops. And then all the science that I usually put in here. And then, below this, we're going to put a coupler, a decoupler, probably just a decoupler. Like this, and it's not going to fit right for some weird reason. See, it does this instead of putting a little shroud here. So I'll use some struts. 4 of them. And connect them there, something like that. And then below that, we're going to need another probe core. Basically, we're going to copy this. We're going to put let's say one of these, and then one of these. This is going to be the Duna orbiter, and then maybe the same tank. I need, what I say, about 2,000 to get into orbit, something like that. Anyway, I'm going to continue with the Duna orbiter, and then I'm going to need another stage below it to get us to Duna, and then the final stage below that, the first stage, to get us in orbit. So it'll be 3 to 4 stages or so. This is just the beginning. I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll be right back. Okay? Okay, this is what I've come up with. It's a little, somewhat looks complex, but it's not really that much. I'm going to take it apart, basically, and show you what I got here. Let's remove this just for a little bit. Zoom out here. Okay, so these two, this right here is the lander again. This is the Ike lander, this part right here, and it separates here. So it's basically what I had before. We have the probe stabilizer. We have these two are science pieces. Inside we have the usual science. I put extra goos in here just because I had room. This is the science junior micro. The usual pieces, the usual science. I don't have a whole, I put this up here because it's a laser light imager. I'm hoping that I can use it. I don't know if I can or not. Now, I didn't put every single piece of science on here that I could find. Like, I could probably put, like, a driller to get a soil sample or whatever, but that required some other pieces. You have to get it to a processing lab, and so this really should be just enough. And besides, I can visit probably several biomes with, by the way, it came out to 39, about 4,000 delta V in this top stage with all the stuff on it. With that, I should be able to visit maybe 3 or 4 biomes on Ike if I really wanted to. So I'm not gonna break my neck over getting every single piece of science on here. Here are the landing legs. And we have these solar panels. And by the way, I took this out on the launch pad just to see if these track the sun, and they do. So that's good. I have the Marietta engine. And communicatron, batteries, everything I need, pretty much all the science I brought from the last missions. And then I have, again, this stack separator here. Now I can't put the particles collector up here like this on this one, so I put it on the side. I couldn't mount it in there. But everything else is pretty much the same. It's basically the same exact science package. What I did is I just copied and pasted this one to here. And it's got the same communicatron antenna. I put these on here, though, instead of these. Now, this top stage, the Ike probe has 3,951 delta V. This bottom one has this engine, because this I don't think the Marietta has enough horsepower. I don't think it has enough thrust to weight ratio to slow us down to get us in orbit. So I put on the service module propulsion system engine on here, so I have less delta V, but this is only for getting us in orbit. This engine right here in this fuel tank, I have almost 2,000 delta V, And again, it's only for getting us into orbit. The rest of this down here is for getting us there. We'll only use this once we start slowing down and getting in orbit. I only need about 600 delta V for that, more or less. So that, and I have plenty to spare in case I make a mistake. Alright, so that's those two. Now we have... Oops, we have a fairing to cover all that stuff up. This stage right here... Let me take this off. Okay, this stage right here, this is all we need right here. It's 1640 delta V. This is going to get us to Duna. We only need about 1200. So this should be enough. And there's a little spare amount in here in case we need it. In case this isn't enough to get us into orbit, which it should be, because it's almost 4,000 delta V. And what we have here is 2 large tanks and a Merlin cluster on the bottom. So that's 4,000 delta V plus this little tank here. And then we have this to help finish getting us into orbit if we need it, and to Duna. And then this to get us into orbit of Duna. Then once we're in orbit, I'll probably do not a low tight orbit. I'll probably do I forgot the name of it, where it's oblong orbit, elliptical. Probably do an elliptical orbit first, and then see if I can get the Ike probe to Ike, and then maybe bring the Duna probe down to a tighter orbit of Duna. So that's it. That's our craft. I call it the Duna probe. Just, even though it's the Duna and I should just rename it maybe. Duna Ike probe. So there we have it. That should be plenty of delta V for each part of it. Now we just need to wait. I need to go back. Let's go back into the tracking station. Okay. And we have to do about 314 days of time warp. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm going to come back when we're probably less than a day out, so we can set up the transfer. So I'll be back then. Okay, we're down to about 4 hours until transfer. I'm going to bring the time warp down. We need to get the rocket in orbit, so let's do that first. Well, we're underwater. Come on, let's get in there. Okay, this is our vehicle. You know, I should probably check my staging real quick. Okay, those are good. Okay, that, separation. That looks good. Now, a couple things. One, as you notice, we don't have as much rocket, as much fuel and engines as previous 2 rockets, because we don't need as much fuel to get to even Moho, especially Moho. Dune is actually relatively easy to get to in terms of fuel. Second, let's see if I can remember to remove the fairing when I go up into the atmosphere. We'll see. All right, time to go. All right, bright sunny day, good day for a launch. I'm going to review this one more time, just real quick. Looks good to me. Alright. SAS, we're going to go full throttle, because I don't know. I haven't tested this rocket, so... Oh, we could do science. Look at all this science we can do that we're not going to do. Okay. That's for later. That's for Duna. Says here 2300 delta V in this stage, but I don't believe that. I don't know where that came from. Interesting. That doesn't look correct. This should be enough to get us up there. Let's go. I can definitely throttle back. Okay, now we're going to get rid of this. There we go. Hey, I remembered it. You know, I think we could stop now. Alright, let's get to orbit. That looks about right. 226, 237, good enough. That's going to take... Oh, we're going to need just a tiny, tiny bit of the other tank. That's fine. When is this? 4 minutes? It's only an 8-second burn. And we'll use most of this. Most of it will be this tank here, the first stage. In fact, I probably won't even need to bother with the other. Let's go ahead and do the rest of it. Okay, let's see if that's enough. 204. We could probably do a little bit more. Maybe. Actually, I don't really think it's necessary. 200,000 should be good. Okay. So in this stage, we have 1,700 meters per second remaining. And here we are. Now, before I forget, again, we're going to... Let's go ahead and... Oops. Extend the antenna here. And we're going to need some power, so I'm going to extend these here. Okay. Okay, we're going to start from right about here. Okay. Ah, there's one already. Okay. But I'm going to have to play with it a little bit. Let's... Okay. This means I'm behind. So I'm going to push the wheel, or push the... I'm going to push... Come on. This a little bit farther over here and see what that does. Okay, that's a little closer, I think. Let's try that again. Right about there. Maybe I can... Well, let's see. A little bit more. Close, but not really what I'm looking for. What happens if I... move this back, like to here. That's kind of worse. Okay. Ooh, that's better. There we go. Getting close. Alright, let's continue with that. Normally, though, the transfer point is right down here, but not this time. Let's move this up a little bit more. Right there. Okay. Very close. Now all we have to do is see which one of these, the normal or anti-normal, does it for us. Right there. Okay. That's good enough for now. We're just going to... That's our burn. How much? Delta V. 1,000 Delta V. We have 1,700. So that leaves 700 for course corrections and the like. Or in case we mess up. And this is in 36 minutes. I'm going to point towards the maneuver. And we're going to time warp and do the burn here in a bit. Be right back. Alright, there we go. Finished, and we still have... That was a really good burn. Sometimes when I do these burns, it won't get exactly... it'll be a little off. I'll have a periapsis, but then after the burn I won't, so I have to do a little correction. I don't think we have to here. I mean, we will do a correction once we get over here to get a little closer to Duna, but this is really good. I'm going to do a quick save. Should have done that before the burn, but that's okay. Alright. Well, there we have it. And let's... Where are we? Let's do a little time warp. And say goodbye to Kerbin. That's a nice picture. And there goes Kerbin. There's the moon, and Minmus is somewhere. That's probably it right there. Yeah, that's Minmus. Little twinkle there. Alright, let's see if we could do a little correction. In about a day, we'll put the maneuver here. Focus on Duna. And let's bring this in. So we're coming this way and escaping here. That's interesting. Gonna have to raise this a little bit and bring it in. Bring it in. Up. In. So I think I want my periapsis to be about... Ooh. We already got a Ike encounter. I think I want my periapsis to be around... Oh, I don't know, 50... 130? Need to raise it. I want to be equatorial as much as I can. That looks pretty good. Whoops. 42, that's probably, let's make it 50, if we can. '53's good. 50's, oh, look at that, right on the mark, 50. All right, that looks good right there. Okay, and this is what? 20 meters per second, 3-second burn. Let's cut the engine thrust limiter to about 10% maybe. Now it's a 32-second burn. More manageable. Easier to control. Okay. First thing, align to the maneuver, because if I don't, sometimes I'll forget and screw up the burn. And then we'll time warp. Ooh, just a little. I need a little bit more. $45. Okay, I'll take it, I guess. I think the atmosphere is at 40. I think I'd rather. I'll just push that up. Well, I should probably do it now. And I'm going to fix this real quick. You don't need to see this. I'm just going to push this up to 50, and then when we come back, I'll probably be right out the edge of here, coming into Duna, or at least I'll be approaching Duna. So, see you in a bit. Okay, here we are. We're closing in on Duna. We're gonna encounter right about here, and we can already see Duna. There's the sun right here. If we look back this way, and there it is right there. Pretty sure that's it. Let's find out. Let's do a little time warp and watch it come closer. Yep, that's Ike right there. I believe that's Ike. Orbiting. Okay, looks like we're just got into its sphere of influence. Alright, so that means we need to set up our burn to get into orbit. So I pushed this out to about 57 kilometers. Add maneuver here. This should be about 600-ish to get in orbit. There's another Ike encounter. So that's, 300? That's less than I expected. So I'm going to put it like... is that okay? I think so. I want to... And yeah, we'll just bring it all into orbit. Because it won't take much. We'll just put it in a tighter orbit. It won't take much to get from here out to Ike. Hardly anything at all, to be honest. Okay. I'll put it about right there. That's... I'll make it 1 million. Thing is, I don't want the Duna probe to be affected by Ike's gravity, so let's bring it in. Come on. Right about there. Yeah, I think that's fine. I do want high altitude science. So how about... And I don't know exactly where high altitude is. We'll make it 400. and then go from there. That's good. And that should be close enough in so that Ike doesn't affect the Duna probe. So we gotta wait 2 hours. It's a 71-second burn, and I need to make sure that I think I put my engine on full thrust. Yes, I did. So let's just time warp in. I'm afraid to go any faster because I don't want to miss the... There we go. I don't want to miss the... Whoa, whoa, whoa. The burn. And there's Duna. Let's land towards the burn before we forget. Before I forget. Okay. Let's take a look at this without... There we go. Very nice. "15 minutes to burn. And there's Duna. So, 71-second burn, so that's what, 35 seconds on each side of the node? I don't know why it switches camera. Not really fond of that. I'll just put it on this one right here. Wow. Check it out. That was interesting how it changed. It changed the visuals there. It's like the atmosphere just kind of went away. So this is at 57. Pretty sure atmosphere starts at 40, something like that. We can always bring this up, and we might want to do it because we're already in low space. I might bring it up when we go out to the apoapsis. One minute. Okay. Approaching burn. And full thrust. Okay, we're at 387,000 meters. It looks like Ike is in the same plane. Look at that. We don't have to worry about a plane change with Ike. Okay. I'm a little nervous about being this low, but I think we're okay. I don't think we have any atmospheric drag, but I'm going to push it out a little bit anyway, just to be safe. I think let's do a quick save, and then I want to decouple these because I need to find out if I'm going to have a problem here. Free camera. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and deploy these. says select tracking body, but I would think there's only one tracking body to select, right? Yeah, they're tracking the sun. At least I think they are. Let's tell it to track the sun. Okay. Yeah, it looks like they are. So sometimes like I said, I have problems with these separators. Hopefully not this time. That's why I saved it, just in case. You know, I probably should extend this antenna before I detach, so that both of them are in contact with Kerbin. Okay, that's good, but this thing should be... This should not be here. This should detach as... Oh, there it goes. Okay, it's detaching. Sorta. Slowly. Yeah, I just not really fond of these things. Okay, so both of them should... Let's see. Right, and then we have these little pieces of the strut. You know, I didn't detach this either. I don't need this anymore. Not that I need to detach it, because I just used this to get into orbit, and I was planning on using this for that, but okay. I hope this separates without causing a problem. I wonder if I can maneuver away from it. This. Let's see if I can... Oh, there we go. What I'd like to do is clean up this debris before it causes problems. So I think I'm going to go back to the Space Center just briefly to clean this up. All right, we're back. I got rid of all that decoupler here and the strut debris. I was going to jettison this and get rid of it, but I thought, well, there's no really need to, and I may use it. I don't know. There's no harm in leaving it attached. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'd like to do some science here. We're in low space. So I'm going to do a little science and send it back. And then you know what, actually, let's do something else. Let's move over to the lander here and see if we can get a Ike approach. All right, we're here. Let's start. And I'm just guessing. I don't know. Oh, right. So, yeah. Right, this is why. All right, so we'll do a little time warp. The problems with line of sight. Okay. Now let's start here. And like I said, I have no idea Ooh, look at that. I didn't even hardly try. And there it is. And it looks like we're going to be going around the back, which is just perfect. Let's make it closer. Right there. 14 is perfect. And this maneuver is when? 52 minutes? Okay. So we're going to keep that. And then we also need to... I want to do a maneuver with the other probe here. So can I switch over and keep... I should be able to switch over. And keep that other one. This one's going to be much sooner. It's in 19 minutes. I just want to push this out a little bit. 62. Let's... 60 should be good, right? $65 is okay. 18 minutes. Okay, we'll fast forward. Right there. It's good enough. Okay. And now switch back to the other probe. And we still have our maneuver here. And this is in 33 minutes. So I'm going to do a little time warp here until I'm ready. Right there. Yep, periapsis of 12. I think that's just fine. And hopefully we're in line of sight of... It looks like we will be. Let's find out. I'm going to wait on this science right now. I want to get the probe in orbit of Ike. So let's do a little time warp. There's Duna. There's Ike. Looks like just a gray ball. I was behind Duna. That's why. Okay, so let's make sure this is going to be... Oh, man, it's going to be close. I'm not sure I want to do it right there. I think I'm going to do it right here. Right about here, so I can do the... I can always adjust it later. I got plenty of delta V. I don't think that's going to work. I mean, it will. I can start the burn, but I don't know if I can stop it. So let's start it here. You know what? I can always do a radial. I can always change... Look, I'll show you. Let's bring this in. Let's see, it's going to impact over here. But we can move this like this. And full thrust. That Marietta engine is working really well. Look at that. Plenty of thrust. All right. We are in orbit of Ike. Our periapsis is 15. We're going to bring this down, and then we're going to land. What should I do first? Science. You know, oh man, I have probably enough science in here to do low space and high space over Ike, plus a couple of different biomes. So, yeah. Okay. I think this is low space. Yeah, we're still in low space. I think I'm going to leave this at 29. I'm going to probably push it out so I can do high space. There's just a ton of science here that I'm going to get. Let's go back to this probe over here for now. Okay, we are in high space over Duna, are we? Looks like it. What's our altitude? 165, so best hurry, I guess. Let's see what we got. Let's do a whole bunch of this stuff. 60 science, transmit, magnetometer, boom, transmit, material study. Okay, we got all of our high space science. Window options, I'm not sure why this is coming up. We got another orbital scan extra. This is kind of ridiculous how much science we can get from this. Oh, now we're in low space, so we get to do it all over again. Might as well take care of it. Let's do the solar particle analysis so we can close this. Okay, we pretty much got all of the basic science from the Duna probe. There's more to do over certain biomes, but we got most of it. So now what I want to do... And I'll come back and get more later. Maybe. We'll see. I want to go to the Ike probe. Okay. So, obviously... Oh, wow. Look at Ike. It's pretty cool. It looks different with this visual pack than stock. It's nice. It's different. Okay, now, I don't think you need to see me do science from low and high orbit. Obviously, that's going to be easy. I want to do a landing. I want to do a landing, and then I'll get back into orbit. Well... I could come out here, push this up to high orbit, do the science, and then come back down and land. I mean, I got a ton of Delta V. But I kind of want to do the landing before the episode's over. And I think... Is that like a mountainous area? I'm in Midlands right now, which is these. So these are the rocky areas, it looks like. I'd like to land in a low area. Ooh, like right here. Right here is going to be my target. Right in here. Somewhere. So, I'd like to bring this apoapsis down. Okay, we're out of contact. I'll do it as close to this as possible. I might have to wait a little bit on the other side of the node. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Nope, I'm right there. Okay. Okay. 14, 15. So we're going to come over here. We're going to land right about here, I think. I think that's lowlands, but I don't know. Right now I'm over Midlands. Let's do some more time warp and see where this is over here. This is all Midlands. East Mountains. I don't want to land in the mountains. Midlands. See, it seems to like to me like the dark gray is the rocky, mountainous part. Lowlands. That says lowlands. I'll see what this is over here. But this looks kind of flatter, and then I can move over to another. I might land right here. That might give me close to 2 biomes. Okay. And I'm only going 357 meters per second. I can slow that down real quick. So I'm at lowlands. Midlands. Lowlands. Why don't we land here? That might be... Yeah, let's land here. Are we in the light? Is this enough light? Looks like it. Okay. Let's go retrograde. Spin this around. Let's get into a free view. Is this where we want to be? Yeah, I think so. Now we're over Midlands now. That's fine. I just don't want to land on a central mountain range. Ooh. Okay. Let's wait a little bit. Maybe these are mountains here. If so, I'll go back around again and land over here. And that's what it looks like. Yeah, I don't want to land in a mountain range. Let's go around. We'll land over here. Okay, these are Midlands here, and then this is mostly lowlands. So this is where we're gonna land. Right about here. It's kind of dark, even though we're in the light. Okay, here we go. Ooh, look at that mountain range over there. Let's go ahead and do full throttle. Slow ourselves down. I might push myself back a little bit. I don't know. We're still over lowlands. Okay. Let's extend the legs. All right, and I'll see you on the ground. So this is interesting. There's a layer of, I'm assuming, dust over Ike. It looks like I'm descending through it. I'm not sure. I think this is the... I don't remember if this was part of Ike in the unmodded graphics, but it's interesting. And there's Duna right up there. So we'll be touching down in probably a couple minutes. I'll be back when we do. But I just thought I would show this. Here's what it looks like. Okay, we'll be touching down very soon. I have the thrust on pretty low so I can slow down gradually, and hopefully by the time I get near, I'll be about under 2 meters per second. But this is what it looks like from here. You can still see the dust around up. I don't want to say in the atmosphere because there is no atmosphere, but that's what it looks like. Dust. Okay, let's get this a little faster. Almost there, and it looks like it looks pretty. I think it's a little rocky, but it looks flat. Looks pretty flat. Oops. Gotta pay attention to this right here. Five seconds. Increase my thrust just a tiny bit. All right. So I want to be touching down at like at around little under 2 meters per second. Now. Oh, don't tip over. There we go. There we go. We are down. We're on a little bit of a slope. Not much, just a little. So we've landed on Ike. Here we are. Yes, a little bit of a slope. It probably would have been better down here, but it's hard to tell from orbit. Even just, 100 meters up, it's hard to tell. But this'll do. We shouldn't tip over anything. I'm gonna have to, in order to run this, I think I need to bring this solar panel in. But I'd like to run some science now, if I can. Let's, just in case, let's quick save. And where are we? We're on the lowlands. So let's open this up and run a bunch of science. I want to see if I can do this one, though, real quick. Let's retract this solar panel. So some of these I don't think I can do because they're orbital studies, like the telescope and that kind of thing. So let's see if we can run the laser surface scan. That gave us 48 science. Okay, I'll run the rest of them real quick. Okay. Well, that's all the science I can do for now. This has to be done from orbit, I believe. Solar particle collectors. So I will get back up into orbit. But really all that's left is to get the probe back up into orbit and do science, collect science from low and high orbit, and then go back to Duna, probe, and do the rest of it. It's basically just science for the rest of the mission. And I think you all know what that's going to look like, so I won't bore you too much. I think I'll leave it here. I think this has been a quite successful mission. Next time, I think we'll do Joule. At least just a probe to Joule. And then maybe after that, manned mission to Duna. We'll see. Thanks for joining me on this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.